Now on CoastTV News.
Milford City Council reaches a decision on the sale of recreational marijuana and its regulations.
Rules on the road, parking changes coming to Savannah Road in Lewis. What's driving the change and who's not so happy about it?
Headquarters on the way. Georgetown greenlights a new police building. What's next for the project?
And Route 1 backed up for hours after a crash shut down part of the highway. We'll fill you in on what happened.
And we have below normal temperatures. That trend's going to continue. In fact, by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, temps will be in the teens in your neighborhood. More on this crazy cold coming our way.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Milford says no to drugs, or at least to the recreational sale of them. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Christina DeRobertis. Welcome to CoastTV News at 11. We begin tonight with the Milford City Council meeting.
The debate over marijuana regulations has been a long one in Milford, but Monday night at City Hall, a decision was made when a vote was taken and the future of pot sales was determined. And as
CoastTV News reporter Brendan Conroy shows us, it's a hot topic with mixed opinions.
If you want to buy recreational marijuana, you are not going to be able to do it in Milford.
This ordinance would prohibit retail marijuana sales altogether within the municipality.
That was the decision made by City Council Monday night.
I just love this council because they take their time to go out and meet the people in the community to get their opinions, and they don't just put their own opinion above all else.
While medical centers still have the okay, recreational marijuana is a no-go after a 6-2 vote that effectively bans the sale of the drug, and of course, reactions are mixed.
The people want it, so let them have it.
If you're going to sell it here, people are going to come.
Laura Petrano lives in Milford and is worried that people would travel to the city just for the pot shops.
They're going to come to buy it. Maybe they'll smoke it here. Maybe they'll go on their way. You know what? There's a lot of places they can go elsewhere. Let them go elsewhere to buy it. They don't have to come here.
Michael Triboletti lives in Milford and thinks these shops should be as common as stores that sell alcohol.
The alcohol, I mean, you know, it's a controlled substance. Alcohol is a controlled substance. Put the same rules in place that are for alcohol as for THC.
While it is a decision that took some time to reach, Monday's meeting was a milestone for both the City Council and those who regularly attended the workshops and meetings.
Monday's meeting ended with claps and cheers from those who voted no to the sale of recreational marijuana. And after all this time, today is a pretty big day. In Milford, Brendan Conroy, CoastTV News.
And this brings us into our CoastTV poll. We want to know what restriction is most important for marijuana businesses, and obviously this means for marijuana businesses anywhere in the state.
Right, and let's see what you guys think. If you take a look at your screen, it looks like 59% saying the school buffer zone is most important, 27% say neighborhood distance, and 7% each saying store hours or compassion centers.
If you haven't voted yet, you can still do that at coasttv.com. or use the CoastTV mobile app. A scary scene on Route 1 tonight after a crash involving a motorcycle and a pickup truck. On your screen now, you can see the major police response that shut down part of Coastal Highway for about 3 hours. According to Delaware State Police, the crash happened around 6 p.m. when a motorcycle traveling north on Coastal Highway collided with a pickup truck turning onto Bay Crossing Boulevard. Troopers say the rider was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Investigators still piecing together what happened. The road reopened around 9 p.m.
The Lewis City Council passed an ordinance tonight to install no parking, standing, or stopping signs and paint yellow curbs along both sides of Savannah Road to Drake Knoll Road. And the city cites bike safety as the main concern. Officials plan to review the impact of the changes with DelDOT within 6 months. The ordinance, though, it has drawn criticism from the Lewis Brewing Company, which feels it unfairly impacts their business by limiting customer parking.
My true feelings is we are being singled out. If you're going to do it in this small area, you might as well do it all the way down Savannah Road. Put no parking signs up and make it the ugliest corridor into a town that you could possibly see.
Now, there has already been temporary no parking signs there for the past few weeks.
New at 11, it has now been approved. Georgetown is going to be getting a new police department and public works building. Tonight, in a 4-0 vote, the town council moved forward with a resolution that will allow them to borrow up to $18 million for that project. They also agreed to buy 2.66 acres of Sussex County tax parcel, which will be used to build the new facility. This new project is going to be located across the street from Deltec, and Mayor Bill West is touting it as a big win for the community.
I want to thank the citizens of this town very much for this. This is something that's desperately needed, and it's going to help us with recruiting. It's going to help us with individuals feeling better about a place they've got to go and go to work.
We're looking live outside now into Ocean City, and we're going to turn it to our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams, for a first check on the weather. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Christina. And we are going to, it's just going to be cold. I mean, just so cold. I was trying to put a nice little ribbon or a bow on to make it really jazzy, you know, but it's really going to be cold. Okay, so right now it's cold, but this is nothing compared to what's on the way, because we're going to drop to below freezing by 3 o'clock. Now, you combine that cold with windy condition, that makes the cold even colder. I mean, we have small craft advisories in effect right now, and then we will graduate to gale wind warnings on Tuesday and Wednesday, not just for Slaughter Beach and Broadkill Beach or Lewis, but Rehoboth Beach, down through Indian, I mean, really along the entire coast, Bottom Hills, Bayview Park, Fenwick Island, Ocean City, all around the entire Delmarva Peninsula. Now, when I say it's going to be really cold, I'm talking about you waking up tomorrow morning and dressing for single-digit wind chills. Yeah, that kind of cold. We'll talk more about that coming up in your full forecast. Till then, back to you, Charlie.
Thank you, Paul. For months, the town of Ocean City has worked on changing regulations for rentals in neighborhoods, and a new occupancy limit is now on the table. Currently, the amount of people allowed in these areas is determined by square footage of each bedroom. That would no longer be the case. If the new rule passes, rental homes can only have 2 people per bedroom, no matter the size of the room, excluding children 10 and under. The owner of Blue Vista Vacation Rental says this would give hotels an advantage.
Hotel rooms could have a 300 square foot amount of space for the entire place, and they can sleep 6 people there. But if you go to a single family house, where some of the houses that we manage, bedrooms can be in excess of 200, even 300 square feet in size, and that bedroom can only accommodate 2 people.
All of this is going to be discussed during tomorrow's meeting.
Well, crews are in a critical stage of their almost week-long battle against deadly Los Angeles County wildfires.
The National Weather Service had issued an expanded warning about winds that could gust up to 70 miles per hour.
At least 24 people have died, with dozens still missing.
Correspondent Lee Waldeman is live in Pacific Palisades with the latest developments.
Severe fire weather conditions will continue through Wednesday.
LA County's fire chief warning the community that the work to put out the area's deadly blazes is far from over. Potent gusts of wind are expected to move in.
We hope that it doesn't get to that level, but we are seeing that there could be hurricane level winds. And so it is very concerning at this time.
The work to get these fires under control now approaches a second week, from planes in the air to boots on the ground. Firefighters went door to door in the Pacific Palisades Monday looking for hot spots, and they're urging the tens of thousands of people who remain under evacuation orders to stay away.
You can't drive through the roads. There's power poles down. There's live, electrical wires that are potentially lethal. The water is not safe to drink. The structures are not standing. Things are collapsing. Fires are still burning.
While they wait to return to their neighborhoods to assess all that they've lost, some survivors say they're grateful for the kindness of strangers as donations pour in.
When I came down here, I was blown away just how much the community is pulling together and how amazing it truly is. And just to see each person, they're just pouring their love and their energy into every single thing that they're doing.
In Pacific Palisades, I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
Meanwhile, President Biden received an update this evening on the current situation that Southern California is facing. The president, sitting at his desk in the Oval Office, was joined by Vice President Kamala Harris and other high-level advisors. The group discussed in detail the status of the wildfire response and recovery efforts and the impending weather that could worsen the situation over the next 48 hours.
We've covered U.S. Wind's plans for a wind farm off Ocean City's coast for years, and new tonight, Worcester County's opposition could land them in court. According to the county, U.S. Wind is threatening Worcester County with litigation. This comes after Worcester County made it known it was willing to use eminent domain to purchase 2 properties in the West Ocean City harbor. U.S. Wind has its eyes set on the same properties for an operations and maintenance facility.
We received a letter into December basically threatening litigation, hoping we'd reverse course over the eminent domain resolution that was passed at our previous meeting.
We will take all the legal avenues we can, but we'd still like to work with the county, and we're still open to working with them.
Now, this is important. U.S. Wind has not filed a lawsuit yet, but the company has requested all files from Worcester County, such as emails and texts that relate to offshore wind.
A wild scene in Lewis today after a car crashed into Surf Bagel. This here was around 12:30 p.m. and Delaware State Police say the 81-year-old Lewis woman who was driving the car, apparently she was trying to park when she hit the gas instead of the brake. The good news, though, is that nobody was hurt.
We have more news to get to this evening.
Still to come, a Fenwick Island favorite has a new name, but it's in the same building. What's changing and what's not?
And next, Delaware Ag Week. It's a big industry in the first state, but one of the big events is on the shelf because of bird flu.
And as you take a look at the bay and everywhere else, we have a cold front that's pushing through, and I'm going to tell it to you this way. That cold front means business, and it's about to give us the business. I'll explain what I mean by that coming up in just 60 seconds.
I've needed a new left hip for about 15 years. The last 2 cortisone shots I got were bone on bone, and they didn't last 6 months. They lasted maybe a month. I was in a lot of pain. The staff at the Joint Surgery Center at Atlantic General Hospital were incredibly helpful. I was back to work 2 days short of a month, which I found amazing. You learn to trust people when you get good care.
Start your journey to relief today. Atlantic General Hospital, expert care every day.
Beachy Furniture.
I think it's pronounced Beach.
Maybe it's Besh.
Welcome to Beachy Furniture.
So that's how you say it.
No matter how you say it, if you're in the market for new furniture, just remember, it better be Beachy. From bedding, dining, and comfortable seating indoors and out, to traditional and contemporary styles for every room in your home, you'll have everyone talking when you hear the name.
It's not pronounced Bichet.
Beachy Furniture, located next to the Mermaid a few miles from the Delaware beaches on US Route 9.
So let's go ahead and just get this out front. It's going to be crazy cold Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning. No, it won't change. Even if you catch me at the gas station, I can't change it for you. We're all just going to have to just live through this stint. And next week, it's going to be very similar. So it's like a 2-week final exam that we're going to be taking over and over and over again. All right, so our Tidal Health camera in Salisbury, we're already at 24 degrees. I'd say that's cold enough, right? Now, we're going to stay in the upper 20s to low 30s for the rest of the night throughout portions of Salisbury. But bottom line is this. We have a small craft advisory that kicked in at 11 o'clock, so we're watching out for 25-mile-per-hour winds. That's happening right now. Then Arctic blast is going to have an impact, that cold front that I just showed you during the tease. That's what's going to do, as I said, give us the business, because it's going to drop the wind chills to single digits because we'll have winds combined with that drop in temps. Now, by the time the gale wind warnings kick in Tuesday night to Wednesday, that's when we're going to have winds at about 40 miles per hour, and we will have the actual temperatures dropping into the teens. Put that in your mind. Temperatures in the teens, winds at 40 miles per hour on the beach for a couple of days in a row. You see, we have a gale wind warning in effect right near Cambridge. That's that 40-mile-per-hour wind concern. That's also true for us at Slaughter Beach, Broadkill Beach, Lewis Beach, Rehoboth, as well as down towards Ocean View, Bayview Park, Fenwick Island. We're talking about very blustery conditions and getting colder, particularly in the morning hours. That also holds true for us at Ocean City all the way down. We're right now in the 20s. For example, it's 27 degrees in Milton, 24 in Redden, as well as Del Mar and in Salisbury, and it's 26 degrees right now in Seaford. You see, we've been trending unusually low, okay? Where you see red, that's normal or higher than normal temperatures, but you'll notice ever since like the second day of the year, we've been trending below the norm, between 6 to 16 degrees below the norm for this time of the year. And that Arctic blast continues to be the case. Now, let's talk about the wind chill factor. Here's where the business comes into play. It's going to feel like 9 degrees tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Got that one? Then it's going to feel like 3 degrees on Wednesday morning. Then it's going to go back to feeling like 3 and 4 degrees on Thursday morning. Hence my phraseology of giving us the business, okay? So that's what's happening. As you take a look at what's happening with actual temperatures, will be in the 30s. I mean, it'll look innocent, and in fact, it'll be really sunny, but it's not going to feel warm at all. Don't be fooled by the sunshine, okay? So as we round up the forecast, 23, but remember, we drop to the teens tomorrow morning, and then for Wednesday, we stay cold. Here's a look at your extended forecast, and it gets a little better on Saturday with a little bit of rain, but not by much.
Okay, thanks for that, Paul. Well, farmers across the first state gathered today to kick off Delaware Agriculture Week. But this year, the event is missing a key component, poultry sessions, which have been canceled due to concerns over the bird flu. With recent cases on Delmarva, organizers are prioritizing safety by implementing strict biosecurity measures, including foot baths and disinfecting clothes and shoes. These precautions aim to protect the poultry industry, the state's food supply, and the livelihoods of those who depend on agriculture.
We just felt that it was important to protect our producers. All of our industry, all of agriculture is entwined in the poultry industry in and on Delmarva and in Delaware.
Now, Ag Week runs until Thursday, offering many other sessions and educational programs for the farming industry in Harrington.
Warren's Station restaurant has been running in Fenwick Island for decades, but now the restaurant, well, it's changing ownership and rebranding itself to The Station. Along with the name change, renovations are being done inside to give it a new look. That's going to include a bar, something the restaurant didn't used to have.
We want to keep the history of the building intact. We want to keep the legacy that the Milford family has with the town and the community, and we want to pay respect to that.
With renovations happening right now, you can expect the station to be open this spring. Also, we will have much more on that story online.
So it's been a week since the massive snowstorm came across Delmarva, and the city of Rehoboth Beach is now sharing some stats on the cleanup efforts from the public works staff. The city says 96,000 pounds of salt was used, along with 7 snowplows to help clear the streets.
Still to come, Hollywood on hold as the West Coast burns. Some of the biggest names in entertainment are focusing on things outside of their profession.
And next, special counsel reports, one soon to be released about President-elect Trump, one already out about Hunter Biden.
Good morning with Dulcolax. Good morning. Yeah. Try Dulcolax Chewy Fruit Bites for fast and gentle constipation relief in as little as 30 minutes. Making your good morning even better with Dulcolax.
Hey, let's try this with Ritz. Now here comes the blitz. What? Step up your game day with Ritz.
This is amazing, George Kittle.
Please, call me George Kittle.
Welcome to Beach Barrels. No matter where you're from, everyone is a local. Fun times and good vibes await with a wide variety of craft brews, plus our award-winning Primo Hoagies made fresh daily. Dance the night away at the best live music venue in Ocean City. And there's never a bad seat to catch your favorite sports team. Dine in or relax on our outside deck with comfortable seating and beautiful palm trees for a cozy, tropical atmosphere. Beach Barrels open 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. at 132nd and Coastal Highway.
You already know Robinson's family of businesses as coin experts. They also specialize in natural and now lab diamonds. Robinson's has the largest selection and the largest jewelry showroom on Delmarva with 8 jewelers on staff.
Did you know that lab diamonds are the same as natural diamonds, just lacking nitrogen from the earth? Lab-created diamonds have the same carat weight and grade and density as natural diamonds, but at only 1/3 of the cost.
With decades of serving our community, we're glad to be your trusted family business. Robinson's family of businesses, where Delmarva gets engaged.
The Polar Bear Plunge, benefiting Special Olympics Delaware, is one of the first state's coldest and most beloved traditions. This year, you have 2 exciting ways to take part. Plunge in person in Rehoboth Beach on Sunday, February 2nd, or create your own virtual plunge. Anytime, anywhere, and as cold or not as you want. It's not about how you plunge, it's about why. Support thousands of Special Olympics Delaware athletes. Register now at plungede.org.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
A judge says she will not block the release of special counsel Jack Smith's report on Donald Trump and efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
That paves the way for the Justice Department to release the report as early as midnight, so just a little more than a half hour from now. That's if no other court intervenes.
Smith's report details allegations that Trump and several others tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power, culminating in the January 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol by Trump's supporters.
The case was stymied after the Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity last summer, and the case was dropped after Election Day.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump is not the only one dealing with a special counsel. David Weiss released the final report on Hunter Biden Monday. Weiss was the special counsel who charged Hunter Biden with gun and tax crimes before President Joe Biden pardoned his son. There wasn't really anything new in the report, but it did include criticism of President Biden, who described the prosecution of his son as a miscarriage of justice. The released report said, quote, "Other presidents have pardoned family members, but in doing so, none have taken the occasion as an opportunity to malign the public servants at the Department of Justice based solely on false accusations," unquote. In a statement, Hunter Biden's attorney commented on the report, saying it omits several mysteries.
In business news, the largest bank in America, J.P. Morgan Chase, has shut down comments on an internal website post that announced its return to office policy. Now, that's according to the Wall Street Journal and Barron's. The company reportedly received dozens of angry comments from employees about the change. The bank announced Friday it would require all employees to work in the office full-time beginning in March, with limited exceptions. The change mostly impacts back office workers who had been allowed to work remotely twice a week.
In entertainment news, the nomination voting period for the 97th Oscars has been delayed again. It comes as wildfires have been burning in Los Angeles, California for nearly a week now. The voting period was set to end on Tuesday, but it will now run through Friday. Nominations will be announced on January 23rd, and the 97th Academy Awards will be held on Sunday, March 2nd at the Dolby Theater.
Coming up in sports, high school sports returning with a Henlopen girls basketball showdown. Laurel visiting Sussex Central.
And next, disturbing dementia data. What we're learning about a disease that experts are now finding impacts more people than previously thought.
Well, it's too cold to talk about golf, but let's talk about the small craft advisory in effect for the entire Delmarva Peninsula. Kicked in at 11 o'clock tonight, and then we're going to be upgraded to a gale wind warning by Tuesday evening.
Listen to Big 107.7, Delmarva's classic rock station.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry-first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation, where we bring the showroom to you.
Join us for the Start Something New sales event at Preston Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram of Millsboro. We have over 200 new vehicles on the lot ready to be driven home today, including options under $30,000 like this 2025 Jeep Compass Sport. Skip the lines, shop online at MillsboroCJR.com. Just click buy, we'll bring the car to your door. Don't miss the Start Something New sales event at Preston Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Cars cost less with Preston.
I've been doing refractive eye surgery, including LASIK, for 20 years now. so I've seen and been a part of the advances firsthand, like the addition of femto laser, which made the procedure completely bladeless. We've done over 2,000 of these procedures, so as surgeons, we advance too. With access to more advanced instruments and techniques, we get safer and more predictable results. And you can get advanced LASIK surgery right here on Delmarva.
For more about Chesapeake Eye, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
When disaster strikes, Super Stew stands ready to restore your home and peace of mind. From fire, flood, or storm damage, Stewart Builders Group is your trusted local restoration expert. We'll handle the cleanup with veteran-owned J-Dog junk removal. Then Stewart Builders Group, your one-stop contractor here on the shore, will rebuild your home as good as new. For restoration, renovations, or home maintenance, trust the family-owned team that cares. J-Dog Junk Removal and Stewart Builders Group. Restoring homes, restoring hope. When disaster strikes, Super Stew can help you.
When a hazardous materials incident struck Georgetown, Coast TV News was there.
We have been monitoring this situation since it got brought into us.
On the ground and in the air, delivering up-to-date, accurate information as the situation unfolded.
We have been seeing Georgetown fire departments on four-wheelers going into the plant.
Streaming live on the Coast TV News app and on Facebook, keeping you informed when it mattered most. Coast TV News, our community, your news, always on alert.
Listen to this. Dementia cases in the U.S. are more frequent than previously thought, and they could double over the next few decades.
According to a new study published in the Nature Medicine journal, roughly 42% of Americans over 55 years old will get dementia. The Alzheimer's Association defines dementia as a generic term for the loss of memory, language, and other cognitive abilities.
The findings are based on roughly 15,000 patients whose health records were followed for more than 20 years. Researchers say one main reason for the rise in dementia cases is the aging baby boomer generation.
The study also found Black adults and women are more likely to develop dementia than white adults and men. Well, it's a nasty stomach bug that causes vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, and more. Norovirus continues to spread across the U.S. And in today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on how to kill norovirus and how to protect your family.
In the U.S., as of August 1st, there have been nearly 500 norovirus outbreaks. In states that report that data, there were 363 norovirus outbreaks reported by these states in that same period last seasonal year.
Basically, any place that people aggregate in close quarters, they're going to be especially at risk.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says norovirus can survive on surfaces for long periods, and many common household cleaners and even hand sanitizers can't kill it.
They may say, for example, that they are 99.9% effective, like this does, against viruses and bacteria, but it turns out that norovirus is often in that 0.1%.
Gupta says it has to do with the virus's makeup. Its tough protein protective coat makes it harder for cleaners to penetrate. He says companies do make products that kill norovirus, but you have to check the label to see if it's included. You can also make your own.
By mixing bleach with water, 3/4 of a cup of bleach per gallon of water. Now, if you don't want to use bleach, for example, on your countertops, you can try a disinfectant that contains hydrogen peroxide instead.
Norovirus can also survive temperatures up to 145 degrees. So if you're disinfecting carpet, experts recommend steam cleaning for 5 minutes at 175 degrees. The same for laundry.
Use hot water on the longest cycle and dry at the highest heat setting.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And Dr. Gupta says to remember to always wash your hands with soap and water. He says the act of scrubbing can wash away any virus.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, sports fans. High school sports back in action on Delmarva, and we head to Caesar Rodney High School as the Riders basketball team aiming to capture their third win of the season while facing Appoquinimink early on in the third quarter. It's Desea Drummond placing in two, and the Jags are up 33-19. Not long after, the Riders connecting coast to coast And Davion Stevenson is there to complete the play for CR. They're down by 11 now. But the Jags were too much to handle on offense as Appo wins 63-44 and improves to 6-2 on the year. To Henlopen girls hoops, Laurel visiting Sussex Central, and it's Ava Brock who floats in 2 points for the Golden Knights at the beginning of this one. Then Laurel fighting back, winning the loose ball, and the Bulldogs with the layup down 11-4 now. Under a minute left in the first quarter, and it's Brock again coming up big for Central. She adds 2 more on the board, and she was just getting started. With less than 5 seconds left, she drives down, drills the triple to put the Golden Knights up 16-6 after the first quarter. Jumping into the second, the Bulldogs' turn. Manchela Louise banking in that shot. Laurel trailing by 8. Shortly after, Laurel possession and Autumn Camper would not be denied at the basket, but Central goes on to take this game 52-43. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
Coming up next, the Wolf Moon. We're going to tell you why it's called that and if it'll make you howl.
Download the free Coast TV First Alert weather app today.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
I've needed a new left hip for about 15 years. The last 2 cortisone shots I got were bone on bone, and they didn't last 6 months. They lasted maybe a month. I was in a lot of pain. The staff at the Joint Surgery Center at Atlantic General Hospital were incredibly helpful. I was back to work 2 days short of a month, which I found amazing. You learn to trust people when you get good care.
Start your journey to relief today. Atlantic General Hospital, expert care every day.
For every season, every weather moment, stay ahead with the Coast TV First Alert weather phone. Just call 443-880-9100. Your forecast just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead and Dallas Federico.
Ring in 2025 with a new roof from Spicer Brothers. Right now, get 20% off materials, plus save 25% on your entire roofing project. Our expert team is dedicated to providing unmatched customer service and quality craftsmanship. It's the perfect time to upgrade your home and start the year strong. So don't miss out on the 2025 savings with 20% off materials and 25% off your entire roofing project. Visit SpicerBros.com or call now to schedule your free consultation. Make Spicer Brothers your New Year's resolution because you deserve the best.
Ride the wave of Delmarva's coastal charm with Coast Life. Explore local treasures, fresh trends, and unforgettable stories from our coastal communities. Join the adventure with Coast Life, weekdays at 4 on Coast TV.
Are you overwhelmed with the stress of moving? Budget Movers can help. We offer full-service packing and moving all along the East Coast for your commercial and residential needs. We are always ready to provide you with a fast and easy moving process.
Budget Movers is unbelievable. Not only did they move our house, but they moved both of our businesses too. 10 guys showed up and they were in and out in less than 3 hours.
So hire me and make your move worry-free. Budget Movers, taking the stress out of moving.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Well, hopefully you got a good look at the moon tonight. It was very beautiful, and it's the first full moon of the year, which means it's the wolf moon. If you were paying extra close attention, you might have noticed the moon actually passed in front of Mars tonight. It happened around 9 p.m. here on the East Coast. And the wolf moon gets its name because during this time of year, wolves are extra vocal on cold winter nights.
Oh, you learn something new every day on the news, don't you? So we take a look at our Spicer Brothers camera in Salisbury, 24 degrees right now. And we're going to stay in the 20s for the rest of the evening under mostly clear skies. Small craft advisory is active for right now. So right now we're watching out for 25-mile-per-hour winds. By this time tomorrow, we will be watching out for 40-mile-per-hour winds. Umbrella giveaway winner is actually Vivian Allen of Lewis. Congratulations, Vivian, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Barkstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And then finally, here's a look at your 10-day forecast. Okay, so we have 2 significant dips. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Chance of rain on Saturday, chance of snow on Monday, but the big story is still the COLD.
That spells cold, Paul, and I don't like it, but it's true. Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11.
For some more news and local weather, you can download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
And we'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.